Okay, here. I have 2 minutes. Oh, it's good. I'm way out of frame.
Yeah.
I try to push myself off to the side. You did. He's like, I didn't get away. People have to do myself. Trying to get some rest. Well, I can hear her snoring, just a bunch of. Don't bother her. Just let her sleep. Wait, and yeah, I think we see go, right? I think he's another town. I got something that said gone in September or December. Good. There we go. 7 o'clock. Call the town council meeting to order for December. Roll call. Councilmember Morales, excused. Councilmember Wellman. Here. Councilmember Dance.
Here.
Councilmember Lacy. Here.
Here.
Mayor McLean. Here. Forum. All right. Okay, next up is the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, and then we're gonna have a little explanation here with fire rescue. So PBSO, take it away.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I left a couple flyers here for basically just holiday flyers for like CCMs and stuff like that. There's one also gave to John, that way you can put them on the website and stuff like that also. So another good one, there's no crime, which is kind of rare within the neighborhood. The majority of that's going on is crashes, but they're outside of so in here, everything's good. So really much to report. So other than that, it's actually decent. Any other questions, really?
No. Yeah. Sorry, I had to make the trip for that.
No, it's all good.
The crashes, are they people who don't stop at the stoplight and turn like in?
I don't have that kind of information. It is just a report of a crash.
Okay.
So. And typically it's people going through the light, especially if they're,
Most people running a light.
Yeah.
20s.
and yeah, because
So that's either way.
Um. Yeah, I mean, but like, I mean, you have other things in here, you have like some domestics and stuff like that, but nothing criminal wise. And. Other than that, just residential checks, deputies coming through the neighborhood, stuff like that.
Well, we love seeing you guys, so
Yeah.
feel free to the station. Come through anytime.
Yeah, when prior to I was coming through and stuff like that, just jumping on the air. Really good.
This time of year, everybody be safe.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you all next year.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you. Night. All right, next up. Alright.
Fire rescue. Sorry, I missed last meeting. I was over at a fire prevention conference for a week. And then I got to visit Mayor McLean, Mr. Deal the next day to go over a legislative bill that Palm Beach County Fire Rescue is trying to pass or get support from our municipalities. Before I get into that, we ran 7 calls here in the town. 40-second turnout time, which is great. Workers usually have 1:30 to get to the trucks and go responding maybe in 40. So I'm always happy with that. And 6 minutes and 12 seconds on our average response time. So I'm very happy with that. That's all fire rescue related pertaining to calls. Now on this legislative bill, I came to present with Ms. McLean and Mr. Beal, with Chief Coyle. He's a much better speaker than I am. Very, very well versed on the bill. So we came and explained over here, kind of what the bill is. I've been doing that over the 5 municipalities I ordered. And it's basically, we're just looking for a letter of support if possible. If it's something the town would like to support. Basically, this bill ensures that no resident or visitor from Palm Beach County experiences a reduction in fire rescue or emergency medical response simply because of the boundary line, preserves continuity of service, protects lives, and upholds the highest standard. The point of the bill is to avoid annexation, right? But it's not saying that, a municipality can't start their own fire department if they wanted to. It's basically stating that we're gonna provide the service, and we're gonna remain at the same level of service until you start your fire department, and you can provide the same service. We're also trying to avoid, well, this bill avoids also double taxation. There was a big scare of double taxation. The purpose of the bill is to avoid that. What happens when a lot of these, let's say departments annex certain parts of the city, they don't annex the undesirable areas. They annex the desirable areas. So what does that do? It leaves it leaves every other municipality to split the pot now with less income, less revenue. But the goal is to avoid that. It's not to stop it. If let's say you guys want to start a fire department, um, it would be an agreement between you and the county, the board of county commissioners, and you guys can start your own. Both of you agree with it. So the bill does not stop you from starting your own. fire department. I know here, we don't want that. risk with you guys, But I have 5 municipalities that give the same, spiel because there are some areas where, there is a Jupiter area, right? That's something kind of like that happen. It doesn't avoid that from happening. If they want to start their own fire department, they can. It's more about the annexation of high income areas, just as they want to gain the revenue, but they'll still leave us the higher call volumes. Because at the end of the day, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue is always gonna respond. We're always gonna be there no matter what. We're not gonna answer or, no, we're not supporting that. That never happens. We support all our neighboring communities. So it's basically to avoid smaller municipalities, from getting, basically, one thing has to go down. It's either the service goes down or cost goes up. Right? We never want to drop our service. That's not the goal. That's not the goal. Since I've been hired in 2007, we've always steadily gone up. So this is the bill to prevent that from happening.
So when you're annexing the more desirable affluent areas. How do the lower income areas get service? They still get service by the same station?
Correct, same station, and we'll still respond to those areas, let's say they're out on a call. We're always gonna respond, we have 51 stations, we are the bigger department. Throughout Palm Beach County, we are the biggest, with 51 stations, so we're always gonna respond to those areas. What matters, where the trouble lies is, they usually don't take the busy areas. They usually take the high income.
High-end neighborhood.
High-end neighborhoods.
Getting a lot of action. They want Redbridge West.
Yes, so they're taking that where we run 2 calls a month, and they'll leave us a mobile park where we run 50 calls a month. You understand, and that bill's still gonna be divvied up along the MSTU, which is something every municipality pays for. Right, so the goal is to avoid that, it's to avoid double taxation, it's to avoid all those things. When we came and presented, over here, again, it's not you guys aren't somebody I'm worried about or losing, we love providing service here, we have 2 stations very close to me that I can serve here all day long. We do have multiple municipalities, and I want to share the same message to all of them. And I want to answer any questions, because, a lot of the questions are double taxation, we're gonna bill twice, no, it's to avoid that. But we also want you guys to have the same level of service, just because another department takes over and say they could do the job. We want to make sure they can do the job, right? They have to offer the same thing or better before they can start their own service. Great, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the way it was explained to us, I mean, it's really, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, again, forget, it's like, it's concerns are further north, further south. That want to start their own kind of fire department, or if they want to annex certain areas. We're always dealing with annexation here in Vermont. Something we're always worried about. So this is just being proactive so we can be fiscally responsible and planning for the future. If we're always worried about, getting certain areas annexed, we can't open new fire stations in certain areas. Where some communities would want a fire station, is not fiscally responsible to open a fire station. We're worried about annexation in certain areas. So with this agreement, it kind of let us pre-plan, for the future.
And basically, doesn't affect us per se as on a daily basis. It's just that they're just looking for support from home municipalities because they do service us. And John and I we felt like it was good. Dorothy did too, but we wanted to bring it to you guys. So I'm going to accept the motion to just basically sign. We have a letter here to just say that we support the proposed impact
that annexation could have. There's probably one in your folders, but so.
We need to improve the execution of the letter written by Alice.
And we have a motion to approve, got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Let me sign this for you.
Thank you very much. And again, I appreciate you all. This is just service we do and it's us protecting the future and always just wanting to get I don't know.
See if they get a copy and then you
More
can
better, maybe want to get more better. That's true. But again, it's just us protecting Palm County, making sure everybody gets the same service. And again, supporting double taxation, avoiding everything. And we don't like duplication of service. So yeah. Not to say this happened in Jupiter, but you know, they're having a fire station directly across another fire station. The optics are terrible. It's like seeing a CVS and a Walgreens, right? Or next to each other.
Pretty much.
Just terrible. That's kind of what, thank you very much. That's kind of what happens over there. That's something we're trying to avoid, right? They could still again open their own fire station, all fire department, if you feel free.
Well, and to the taxpayers, it looks like it's way too much and you've got two sides. Yeah.
So we're just trying to avoid that.
Okay.
That's good. That's all I got. If you have any
Okay.
questions, I hope we answered.
No, we're
yours
good.
and mine.
Did you have a lot of turkey fires? for the
35,
meeting?
yes, turkey fires, turkey fires. From people frying their turkey, the most common.
Putting too much oil in.
They put it.
Put
in some
away the
just
turkey
fast,
in.
change the temperature.
Yeah.
They
And-
put all the tap water going to.
And
Yeah.
for things, for Christmas, what is like the highest call,
Christmas trees, dry Christmas trees.
like catching a fire?
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
Real Christmas trees, right? They,
Mhm.
especially when we first get them, they suck up a lot of water.
Mhm.
Usually new homeowners usually put in the initial water, it takes no less than a week, by the next morning that water be soaked up.
Mhm.
Trees often dry up and they're, I don't know if you ever seen it on YouTube, but if you just look up dry Christmas tree catch on fire, how quickly.
The Christmas light is like making it hot to catch on fire?
Yeah, it's just the dryness and then the heat from the lights.
Well, the catch on fire, yeah.
Help, yes, but it's more about the dryness. It usually doesn't happen with the plastic trees. the
Okay.
pagans. It's more about the real ones.
Yeah, but I'm saying the Christmas lights are what's catching it on fire, right? Like the heat from the
Yes,
Christmas lights.
yeah, that helps, but it's more the dryness of,
Got it.
so it doesn't really happen with plastic big trees.
No, not the problem
So
with the other ones. I'm saying
But
like,
the real ones, yeah.
yeah.
Because of how dry. Yeah, if you ever have a chance, I mean, YouTube it, it's pretty impressive how quickly it catches.
Mhm.
And how quickly fire doubles every minute. So just keep that in mind, you know, we get there in 6 minutes, just think about.
Yeah, there you go.
And again, thank you all for this.
All right, very good.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, Chief.
And we'll see you next year.
All right, sounds good.
At the barbecue next week. We'll be
Next
there.
Friday.
We'll be there.
All right, very good. Enjoy your holidays. Thank you. Okay, did we have anybody for public? No, all right, moving on, approval of the agenda. Everybody approves, yes?
Yeah, that's true.
Approval of the minutes, been distributed, any additions, deletions, questions, corrections? Take a motion to approve,
Motion to approve the minutes.
all in favor? Motion carries, minutes are approved, finance report. Any questions, concerns?
This is one of the first fiscal years that after 2 months of the fiscal year that we're showing in our net revenue rather than a loss.
Is that because there are new investments?
No, I don't know why. Is that so? We're still receiving.
Yeah, permit fees?
It could be. And I
We could definitely take a bit.
had a couple of couple of bigger permit fees, so that could be it, but it's a good thing. We always caught up with it anyway. So, the new investments are doing well. We've got, with the new FPIQ, I moved 50,000 that we had net revenue from last year into that. And immediately it started getting interest. I moved 350 from, Synovus over. And so we have $400 plus, and I just got the statement for the last month, and it was $800 in interest, which is We used to get $700 of interest on $700,000.
Wow.
I was able, I left 350 in Synovus because they were able to give us 3.2%. So I said, we'll leave it there for a while. The FDIQ is getting us 3.5 or 6, a little bit more. And if it gets funky, I'll move it all over to FDIQ.
Start yanking money and get their attention.
Well, yeah, we started, yeah. And they asked why, I said, well, we don't get as much interest, so. There you go. So we're in great shape there.
All right, very good. Next up is my report. Well, we just covered the first thing. We met with those guys, got that square. November 6th, you probably saw on the news, we had the, big CCAN meeting, the citizens concerned with airport noise. Because just prior to that, and we all found out at the same time, the airport did, the CCAN did, the county, everyone did, that the temporary flight restrictions for when the president was here were gonna be permanent. And were gonna be enforced even when he's not here. So naturally, if you live in Flamingo Park, if you live in a lot of the areas that, because there's a 1 mile radius around Mar-a-Lago that the airspace is totally closed, even to commercial air. So, the meeting was held in the evening, which allowed a lot of people to be able to attend. It was standing room only. And the airport gave a brief presentation, but for the most part, all of us were saying, we found out when you did and we don't have an answer. So, we had a lot of really good speakers. There was a little anxiety going into it, not knowing if you were gonna have a farm runner. But, the residents, everyone who spoke was very eloquent and brought up legitimate concerns and, a lot had some solutions or some ideas. Of course, there was no one there from the FAA or the Secret Service because the government shut down at the time. So all we could really do was gather information, but we couldn't get any answers. They were all very respectful and understanding the temporary flight restrictions. Everyone understands when the president's in residence that they want him to be safe. And they're willing to accept that and live with those temporary restrictions. But the fact of the matter is, all the time, what's gonna happen in May when he's gone and it's closed, they still have to, you can't hear your TV with the window open and, your children are waking up in the night, you can't go to sleep. And, we had an audiologist that spoke, we had several doctors that spoke. I mean, it's rough. I mean, these people didn't buy their homes thinking they were gonna be in a flight path. They knew the airport was here. But at any rate, Greg Weiss was there, the county commissioner who also lives at Flamingo Park. He's very involved with it, and there were several of the committee. There were several ideas that we will toss out, but for now, it is not going on the county commission agenda yet because we don't have anyone that we've spoken to. We don't have any answers yet. So once we get some explanations and answers, we feel like, we're hopeful that this can be remedied and changed because we just really need an explanation. These people shouldn't have to live with that. I'm surprised we haven't gotten more than we have. But at any rate, the next meeting is next Thursday, and this will be at 1:30 in the afternoon. So here again, I expect a big turnout. Hopefully we'll have some answers by then. I've spoken to the chair of the CCAN a couple of times, and several of the residents in her neighborhood, I mean, they've got decibel readings and that sort of thing. So, for now, we're just, that's what our job is to concern with airport noise. And, the other thing is that all of our monitors have been down because we had old ones, they got new ones. They're not all in place. I don't even know if we've got any of them in place. And now there's some people challenging where they're being placed. So that's another issue that we're addressing right now. So, as soon as we know something, get someone to talk to us, we'll report back. But for now, that's it. But,
Sorry, question. And maybe this is silly. And this is, people are upset or worried or concerned because the flight path has changed. Not that it's any different. It's not louder, it's just changed, correct?
It's, yes, what was the temporary flight restrictions, like when there was a 10-mile radius and a 30-mile radius, and then but now it's completely closed. 24/7,
Mhm.
a mile around Mar-a-Lago.
Mhm.
So instead of things going up, they're going like this, they're banking, and that's
Mhm.
for now, whether he's here or not. And that's the problem. They understand because of the fanning and everything. Um, and the people that are to the north are really getting it because most of the flights going out of here are going north. If you're going south, you're probably going out of Fort Lauderdale, Miami.
Mhm.
So they really get it. And then even west of town, they're coming in, they're slowing down. It's noise.
That wasn't there, it's just different.
I mean, it's there whenever the temporary restrictions are in place, but they understand it. And they're used to it because they dealt with it for 4 years, when he was here before. And they get that. And they're not, they don't love it, but they understand the need. But the fact of when he's not here, there's just no explanation.
Yeah.
So that was
I had two questions. One was, so they didn't offer us any explanation of why they wanted to make it even when it's not.
No.
Okay,
There was no one there to answer FAA or Secret Service.
maybe the next meeting?
On Thursday, hopefully.
We'll see. I'm not sure.
The next question is, from temporary to permanent. Permanent just means permanent while he's president, right?
Well, right now it's in place for a year till next October.
Well, when will it be back?
I have no idea. Well, like I said, there was no one there to answer our questions. I mean, the airport found out when we all did.
If it's valid for a year, it should be valid for 3 years.
Right. And if it, why in the summer when he's never comes?
So can we determine that that's not gonna be, there's not gonna be some kind of administrative law that goes into effect even after he's president?
We have no guarantees of anything right now. Like I said, we just, that's why, like I said, the bright side of this is that Greg Weiss is very involved. He's very on top of it. And he's, like I said, we had the airport prepare a letter. Anyone who signed in for the meeting, we sent a letter. We want to keep the public engaged because for so many years I've gone to these meetings and there are 3 people there. Well, it was standing room only. We want to make sure that, that was what all we were trying to do was to say, we hear you, we're with you, and we're going to do what we can to try and remedy this. And there were several, people came up with some good ideas for maybe even some of the commercial traffic. If you don't want the private planes going over, then let the commercial, everybody on that commercial plane has been through TSA, has been, you got your pilots, your cabins are secured by now. I mean, they're a mile, 3 miles out. So, I mean, there was a lot thrown out there, but I had hoped we could get it in front of the county commission because, that might be those pages, but he wanted to wait until we had more information and at least had someone to talk to us because, they're gonna want whys and hows and that sort of thing. So, okay, the next thing that I had was on the 12th, I met with, Commissioner Flores. He had a meet and greet over at the Summit Library for all of his appointees to the various committees, which and the boards, which are like 24. And it's basically for us to meet one another and kind of hear what the other ones do. And he gave us a little more of his vision, for the county and his district. He is very big on tourism and jobs because about 96,000 jobs come out of his district. He's a highly Hispanic district, and they're looking. He wants the airport even busier. You probably don't like that, and I go, fine, if they can do it, they can do it. And that's one of the things that they talked about. They would love to see some nonstop flights out of here to Latin America and to various places. But they could take the drive. They said we just take the drive into Fort Lauderdale and Miami to go or to go visit, family or friends. So that was one of the things he's hoping to do. He's talking about an indoor sports multiplex. They're looking for $3 million, I think, maybe allotted for that at 17 acres at Pinehurst and Forest Hill. That's zoned for recreation only. And so they're hoping to bring more, like they bring the softball teams here and various. They're looking to have a facility to bring more of the tournament type things here at various times of year to build hotels and, you know, make it that tax and keep everyone working year round. So he's, you know, he's a good guy. He's military. I think he served in Afghanistan, but he likes to get things done. So he's a get it done kind of guy. And we're hopefully we'll do this quarterly, and I will let you know an update on the next one. And that's all that I have. And so, council reports, anyone? Attorney's report,
Everything is wonderful, boy.
correspondence. None.
Wow.
Clerk's report.
It is wonderfully quiet. The years are winding down. Uh, every year, the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust, who insures our property and insures me for liability and employment, we have to do an audit of the previous years. We pay an unemployment tax every quarter, about $6 or $7. It's really minimal. But we have to submit records of that every year. So that was done, even though they didn't get their first time. Sonoras, yeah, I told you about that. I met the fire rescue along with Alice. I coordinated all the election qualifying process, and you are being challenged for your seats, those of you who are up for election, so there will be no election in municipal election in March. That has been reported to the supervisor of elections office. And you can read the rest, it's not very much.
Question, John,
Yes.
I just quickly Googled the address, but the F. Foliage at Glen, is that one behind them? Or 1700 Glen, sorry.
It's the
Oh,
foliage along southern
oh,
at the end of the park is getting overgrown, so the DOT is gonna have to trim it back.
okay.
That affects Peter Harhold's property, and they were telling us first before they met with him. And I hadn't heard anything from him about that, so I assume it's fine, but the foliage is growing around the power poles and the wire. Yeah.
I mean, that's the gentleman that lives all the way again. There's nice.
Yes.
Thank you, Victor.
It's been hit several times.
Wait,
They have fixed the government. We can reach out to them and tell them
like while they're turning the stuff,
Yeah.
and then maybe.
I'll reach out to them.
Yeah,
See if,
Summers Park there, they need to do better maintenance on their fence.
I'll see if they can do that. It seems to be pretty slow to respond with things. They'll give it a go.
I have a question about that area as well. Where the road dead ends, just prior to the park and prior to his home, there's that little tiny cul-de-sac and there's a sign right there that says no dumping, illegal, all of that. I've seen residents drive their landscape trash there. Is that,
Not supposed to.
huh? Interesting. Yeah, they drive it right to the sign and just drop.
I followed a guy in one day. I followed a guy in town one day that came out of town and did it. And I was
Yeah.
waiting, and he wouldn't leave because he saw me. And I sat here waiting, and I pulled down the street and then they left. But I know there are a couple residents that do it.
You'll notice from the sign that it's not a Glen Ridge ordinance, it's a state ordinance.
It's not junk that I'm saying. They're
Yeah.
putting landscape.
Yeah, they're putting
trash.
compound and stuff, but still, they need to be
Yeah.
putting it.
Yeah, we had one person doing that, and
I'll shoot you an email.
this person just had too much for his own property. I said, well, put it right out here.
Yeah, I mean, we have such a great relationship with the guy who does pickups that
Great.
even if they don't finish or because he comes to our neighborhood in the end of the day, if it's full, he'll come back the next morning and take the rest of it. I'm always giving him tips and Gatorades and whatever because man, he's taken our like pile that's I think it's only supposed to be what 8 to 10 feet or something.
So,
And yeah, it's like ours is way bigger than one. So anyway,
We've had very good guys on this route.
yeah, very
Always.
lucky, very lucky.
Okay, I don't have any old business. Next is the new business water supply.
Do you remember from last meeting, we had an ordinance for the water supply, and Jack Clement said we had to have first reading, and then he called me and said, well, you gotta have the local planning agency, and I said, Jack, it's the same thing. You are also the local planning agency, so we had scheduled you to be local planning agency for 2 minutes tonight to redo the first reading. But he called me back and said, hey, you don't have to do it at all.
Great.
Because you only have to do that if you have your own water, provide your own water supply.
or if you go over a certain threshold amount of the water supply that you're using for the Wi-Fi provider.
Right.
And I think we're supposed to be like, that'd be like 100 whatever's, and we're at 22.
Yeah.
So
So,
we don't have to go through the exercise, the advertisement, and the crap of an ordinance.
yay,
So, yeah.
Yay.
that was good news.
Mm-hmm. Okay, office printer upgrade.
The printer here, copy machine, I believe it's about 7 years old. I've been here 8 years, we bought it for the first year I was here, so it may be 7.5 years old. It's still working fairly well. The problem with it is that it doesn't. These copiers have a scan feature which allows you to scan something and send it to your computer. That's how you get the information for council meeting on the website, because I scan it into a PDF file and put it on the website. That is no longer working on this computer or on this copier. And according to Bill, who's the guy from All Care, it's about an $800 or $900 repair. And he advised that maybe we think about replacing it. So he just sent this today. But they told him he'd have to have it for tonight for him to review. And he's offering, this is not a, this is a return from the copier, which this one was also. And we go through a fair number of copies. I mean, for just a council meeting and staff like that, when I collect all yours that you don't take with you and put it in the file, it's that big. It's been a good machine, but I really rely on the scan feature. And it's a wireless scan in a new one. This is not a wireless scan, and that's part of the problem with scanning is it's communicating directly, and he's been working for a couple of months to try and get it to work, and he said it's not gonna.
Well, I think at this point, you know, if, as opposed to continuing to repair this one, I think it would be far better off to replace it. And if that's the price, that's the price.
And what about can I propose a little idea of maybe, what if we got like a cheap printer that has that feature? Aren't those like standard features of printers nowadays? And then just have.
I have that
Printer and
I have that feature on the printer in the office. This is high speed. And
Okay.
and it links.
That's a third pocket or papers, yeah.
Doing the materials for your binders on that machine in there.
It's not, yeah. And I can attest to this price and his note that it's cheap. I was looking in office and this is by far very minimal. And I mean, not for nothing, I don't know what features the new one will have, but I have to feel comfortable if I have to be like, hey, John, can I come print 100 pages? You know,
And we'll spit them out.
I mean, that's helpful.
Technology, generating years is like a generation.
That's true.
The fact that it lasted that long.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a good, oh, no, we don't have to buy one while it's broken. You force it to do it. This is the-
Yeah, because, yeah,
We had time to shop for a deal, at least John did.
okay.
Who wants to make a copy of purchase? We'd like to.
Motion to approve the all fair copier purchase. Good.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? No, motion carried. Congratulations, you get a new printer. Alright, you get a printer, you get a printer. 40 Gemini code violation update.
Well,
Is that the trailer?
No, that's Gary Sullivan's old house.
Pickleball.
Yeah, like,
Oh.
the pickleball.
So that's something else.
We have the pink house, we have the pickleball house. They constructed an outdoor pool. And installed an outdoor sauna
Mhm.
and an outdoor
Cold plunge.
chill down without permit. So we cited them for a code violation. And we've been going round and round with them. Finally, today, I've gotten the permit. But Jose, our code enforcement officer,
Building.
correct, building official, is excellent, and he's a real stickler for doing it right. But you gotta, people are gonna let somebody sitting in that chill down zone, and the power isn't hooked up correctly. You have to fry them
Like how can you-
like a turkey in the, out of it. So, that all has finally come in today. We gave them an extension until 15th of December. At which point it didn't have it, it was going to go to, special magistrate, or they could start getting fined. They've been very cooperative. But not really knowing exactly what it is they're supposed to be doing, even though we keep telling them.
No. But hope they are very good at explaining and providing.
Basically, if there's electric and plumbing involved, there are potential issues. Plus, Gary doesn't want that bar being blown over into his yard during a hurricane.
Well, is it soft? I hear it.
So that's resolving itself finally, I hope. But you need to know that that's what's going on. They were also cited for not submitting a business tax, which they did, so they're a business.
I think they probably may not be used to having to do all these things, and some of the places they go in, they probably get unnoticed, and, but they just, it's. And then he got the guy bought, he got married, and was on a honeymoon in Asia, and so we're like, well, okay, we'll set up a hearing quite yet, so. The extension, and that was what Richard enforcement suggested, so.
The owner keeps saying, we want to be good neighbors. You keep saying,
We want to be,
I want you to be.
yeah. Okay.
Pickleball court when it's not rented?
What's that?
Can we get the use of the pickleball court when it's not rented?
Just keep cameras around the house, that's all.
Oh,
I thought people played pickleball Wednesday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, finally. Okay, self-storage project update. I don't have anything. Maybe Layla can tell us how it's going.
Okay, fine.
Oh,
It does look so high.
That-
That is. That's doing
They have to be excused above the crowd.
But did you- plans like.
That's why they have the detention pond.
Okay,
That's
but
one reason.
with 3 stories, is it still going to be level with that other building, the law office?
depending on what the law office was, it might end up being a little hollow.
So that was gonna be like equal, but like.
Well, they can't be if they have to bring the elevation up, and that's determined by Florida building code.
Yeah.
And even
35 feet is the
maximum
maximum height of the structure. So it could be higher than the Peterson Bernard building.
because the elevation is probably gonna be high.
Much higher.
It has to be because of state laws.
It's not there, but
It has to be higher than the flood.
but that's why that's also why they're required to have the drainage and the detention that will cover that sort of thing, you know, they can't just come in and say, oh yeah, cause I know we built our house in '94. The original house, we had to bring it up to 15 feet above sea level to get a mortgage. And that's, I'm sure it's probably still at least 15 feet, if not more. So that's a requirement. That was built in '92. So yeah.
Well, you notice anything that's.
Anything above after Andrew has that, all of that went in after Andrew, and it's into '91.
Anything that's been built recently has had to, been
Since '91.
had to be elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love.
Studios house.
Across, yeah, across East, across the sea, they're, they had to put a whole mountain.
Did you see the elevation on this thing?
I think it looks drastic, because you're right there, but I don't think you'll notice it.
Yeah.
The plants are in and you won't notice.
But I think the 12-foot screening looks very nice.
Oh, I love
They did a super
Yeah.
job, but I don't think you wanted to take it down until they're completely finished. Forget the wall and the landscape, yeah. That,
Down so much now.
well, I mean, they did a super nice job on that. Okay, well, you know, I just wanted to make sure, the only thing I had talked to Bo, he had called me, weeks ago. There were a couple other trees that were down towards the Peterson Bernard building that were originally, I don't know if they were originally gonna be taken out, but it was a strangler thing and something else, and it was creating a big issue for them. And he wanted to make sure if it was okay if they took it out, and I said, absolutely, take it out, because they'll replace it with bigger and better, so. I said, yeah, if it's in their need. Yeah, I said, it's interfering with your work, take it, that's fine. So next is their manager evaluation. And I would like to thank the two of you that turned that in for me.
Don't say names.
Don't say names.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we know then. Well, and they were all glowing reports. You got all ones, and so, and I have to agree that, the comments being best town manager ever, exceptional, exceeds expectations, well-rounded in the knowledge, expertise in all areas of the subject matter, highly effective in dealing with people, getting it done. So, the other thing too, and I will just remind everyone that, a lot of work gets done outside of the office hours. And John he monitors email 24/7. So things get responded to, if he gets an email on Thursday, people don't have to wait until Monday to get a response. He will respond. If he gets one on Saturday, he will respond. If he's on vacation, he will respond. And that really keeps people off the ledge. So, that in itself, and there's a lot that goes on here that he has made my life so much better. Because it's just nice to have a responsible adult that, it's got me spoiled, like cry. But, last year the bonus was 6,000, and I'm gonna take, usually we go up 1,000. So
I have some prepared remarks.
okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. John has continued to be a highly effective and proactive manager over the past year, in my opinion. Among other initiatives, he sharpened the town's balance sheet by moving cash funds to a higher interest bearing account and eliminated the line item for excessive accounting fees being charged to the town. John possesses a wealth of well-rounded knowledge and experience in numerous subject matter areas referencing addressing and resolving many town-related issues that surfaced from the past year. He continued to effectively perform his duties and responsibilities as our town manager, ensuring that all processes continue to run smoothly. I would like to recommend that in light of John's performance and merit, John be rewarded with a increase in bonus of $1,000. I believe this amount to be reasonable, appropriate, and warranted.
Yeah,
Motion to approve John's Christmas bonus, yearly bonus
Oh,
of
$7,000.
$7,000. Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
absolutely.
Any opposed? No. Yay, congratulations. No.
I'm spellbound, never in my life of 43 years of working have I ever gotten a bonus.
Oh, you deserve it, John.
Yes, he
I
does.
appreciate it greatly, thank you.
I would like to just bring up one more thing. And if you guys want to discuss it tonight, or if you want to save it either way. But you know, when John started here, what, 8 years ago, 9 years ago?
January 1st, 2018.
He started at $20 an hour, and after like 3 months, we went to $25 an hour. And he is still at $25 an hour. And while, yes, the bonus is nice at the end of the year, but at the same time, I think it would be nice if we kind of went with the times a little bit so that he would have more money in his pocket every 2 weeks. Because the other thing that John doesn't do, he doesn't say, okay, I have 20 hours in the office, I've got 2 hours for a meeting. He backs things down so that it stays the same and creates comp time out of that. So if the hours are 8 to 1 and he's gone at noon, that hour might go towards this meeting tonight. You understand what I'm saying? So that keeps the math a lot easier. He's not nickel and diming us for every, 20 minutes. And that is to be commended as well. So, whether it's $30 an hour, $35 an hour, if you guys want to think about it, or you don't want to do anything, I just think that, I brought it up to him. He certainly did not bring it up to me. Because the one thing I said to him, I said, if we were to do this, I don't want to mess up any of your pension or social security or whatever. So you think about it and just let me know if that would, because if it would, and there doesn't seem to be an issue, on his end. So whether you want to think about it, whether you want to vote on something,
What's the industry standard? I was just thinking.
well, the industry standard is about $130,000 a year.
Yeah, the industry standard for a full-time manager is somewhere in the 6-figure range. First thing you can meet in is you negotiate your severance package. You need to have your hang out the door, but because that's what happens, they get fired left, right? Well, that's,
Last year, the average salary for a town manager was 108,000, and that was that's and you're looking at towns that have departments, department heads, assistant, you're looking at jack of all trades here that gets it done in a minimal amount of time because of his knowledge and his efficiency and his ability to problem solve and, not dwell and just get it done. So,
because we don't know exactly that, the yearly salary is $108,000. We don't know what the hour, how many hours they put in for that.
right.
I think it'd be more beneficial to understand what the hourly rate is
Okay.
for the different municipalities that are. It's real hard because these guys have to do meetings with the managers. Yeah, they're in a lot of meetings. They put in a lot of hours.
They're not an hourly employee.
Yeah, there's stuff.
This is like just an annual salary. They really got, because if you're looking at a big time manager. No, you're looking at you're looking at a council meeting, you're looking at advisory meetings, you're looking at all those other things. Your time is just, that's why you're being compensated, because your time is being pulled. Maybe that's not a good, so yeah, it's really hard to break down the hourly rate of someone like this.
Connor, are you salary or hourly?
Hourly, 20 hours a week times 20.
Okay.
So. That's good saying, it's,
Maybe you guys wanna think about it, or want me to make a motion?
so, anyway, we should just go to it because it's starting to start.
January first.
That's what I was thinking too, just so it starts on the first, if that's.
It's a unique position and a unique, really, we can. just-
And a unique individual that is filling the position for time.
And Alice did need more. And we haven't talked, you had some lady.
Right, no, I have a motion, we should.
Sure.
Plus, ones are they gonna be,
I mean, going up $10 an hour. To put it in reference, I just did the math, and that's 72,800 a year. And if they're the same industry standard is,
We're just looking at 40.
you're gonna go down.
oh, you're right, it is. So I didn't even do the math right, but that's also, but not to double that, John does 20 hours a week and average, when you say a salary human, that's even if they work 50 hours, that's 40 hours a week, so it'd be double, right, or in John's case. And.
Well, like I said, I mean, a lot of work gets done when he's not here. And,
Mhm.
you know, that's,
But he makes up for it, and
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And,
And Starbucks starts at 18. Starbucks starts at 18.
yeah. So,
They're, again, that's a lot better than Starbucks movies.
I'm just thinking of the cost of living, which has increased
absolutely.
significantly in the last year for all of us. And also your tax bracket, which we don't need to know what that is, but that is, I'm gonna factor that in, see what, you know.
Well, that's why I had asked him if that would have.
Because the government's taking a third, that has to be factored in as well.
but John, or Tom. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is John, and this is just an observation.
Yeah.
John has already worked a whole career and he gets a pension, that's what Alice is talking about, and so it's not like he's surviving off of this, he's working diligently and wonderfully for us, I mean,
$35 an hour.
but I'm saying, I don't want you to think that he's living off pennies and.
No, my pension is in the form of a higher. They don't get a monthly.
Well, you have to take that once a year. Well, you now after at age 73, you have to start taking it.
Well, I get the ones that are in
73 now.
Oh,
Trust me, Dickie's gonna be 73 next year.
Yeah. I do. No, he's 73, yeah. So, no, the main is not, it's just a basic.
Well,
So we have a Walmart motion on it yet?
Aren't like taxes harder on you also for a bonus? Like, wouldn't you rather have you in a higher,
It doesn't matter.
like, rate next year and then?
Doesn't have, so
No, they factor it.
it's the same tax bracket.
It has nothing to
This
do.
isn't gonna change my tax bracket, so.
No,
Oh, that's okay, can we
Which
be
is
harder
$20.
to learn that?
no,
The math,
straight standard. It's just depending on your act.
the difference.
200 times, take up 20 times 25 versus.
Back in your page, or 40. Times
Yeah.
40. Yeah.
You know, for yourself, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I was just trying to, let's apples going to trade.
$8,300.
Oh, no, 11,000.
You're still.
Yeah, but if you factor in, yeah,
Now, like I said, I'm putting it out there for you guys and I think he definitely deserves a raise.
I mean, I'm,
5 minimum, but
Yeah.
I would. We can push it to 40, I think.
I make a motion to give John a raise at $37. Does that make everybody happy? They're weird, but there's some.
I have to figure that out. Who needs to write the check? You read George?
He does.
How do you feel about third?
Well, who else is gonna write it?
I'll say calculate it. We have to push it on the board. Now, really, you have a motion that is second.
The end of the year to factor in the bonus, like you. 40. We have to look over the bonus at the end of the year.
Well, like,
Do the higher.
I'm not even,
It's,
I'm not even considering all that.
that's, we're nickel and diming. John's making us more money with our with our savings, if next year we wanna give them a $10,000 bonus,
Okay, no, you guys.
we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we already have a motion and a second on the floor. Do we have any further discussion?
Is this for 37?
37.
Okay,
Who is the second?
We second as well.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, I don't vote, sorry.
Can I add into my motion, or should I add into my motion as of January 1st, 2026, just to
Yeah.
be clear?
Yeah, that's fine. So that's what you said before.
Okay, okay.
You said it was gonna start on the first.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay, motion carried. Congratulations, John.
That's very generous.
Well, let's see, one more thing, the pond pump, we're gonna have to do a little shopping, the motor's blown, and so we'll do a little research on that. And the league barbecue is next Friday, out at, is it Pokey Belgrade?
I had thought one this year.
Yeah, so if you're interested in going to that, probably got an email from Aziz Isles for, RSVP.
Is that different than just the meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's the big
well, put it this way, he is 1/4 of this.
Really? Yeah, of the humans that show up, you're saying.
Yeah, it's a big barbecue. I mean,
This is gonna be the first year in 37 years on this. Because my daughter's freaking graduate.
So anyway, that's right. It's been every year. And you make it on the ways to be the RSVP. And also, I don't have the exact date. You know, what's the date of the, Cloud Lake Christmas party?
My mom just sent it to me.
Is it Saturday or Friday? It's usually Saturday.
I think it's Saturday.
Working.
You guys,
Saturday. Yeah.
okay, well, you guys will get an invitation, I'm sure, but just if you put it on your calendar, because the council's invited, and it's always fun. Now,
Do you have-
last, like 3 years,
Do you want me to email you?
last 3 years.
Up there for the,
No, I just.
here, I'll
Usually sends it, but
email it to you right now.
I'll put it on,
Okay.
I'll put it on the website. She always invites.
Okay, anything else? Public comment, anything? Public. Well, I forgot to say at the beginning, but congratulations to everyone who qualified, and there's no election, and I really feel like we're getting our groove on here, because now we've finally been sitting here for a year as a group, and I really am feeling good. I mean, things are gel, and I hope everyone's getting a little more comfortable, with, you know, just what takes place and, you know, what we need to do. So, you know, with that, I'm very happy, and I'm happy for all of you guys. I appreciate the effort and, you know, falling on the sword and doing the heavy lifting. So we'll have that party one day. I promise.
It's loud. Yeah.
And, other than that, I want all you guys to have a wonderful holiday. I'll be scooping around on the card at some point. We'll get it decorated.
I second, but
Yes.
pleasure working with all.
Oh my God, I was like, are we not meeting in December?
Both your adjourned? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Everybody.
Very good.
Merry Christmas.
Very
Yeah.
We're going to base?
Some of the guys. Like you.
So the guys put it down, they eat real fast, so they just said, you guys, push up.
Happy New Year, everyone. Merry.
Yes.
Holidays.
That's all. We're not gonna get it. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that if I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know Johnson, you had been in,